Somewhere behind the guarded doors of Kensington Palace, a decision was made so quietly, almost no one noticed it happening. And yet, that decision may have changed the future of the British monarchy forever. Because according to whispers moving through royal circles, Queen Camilla was left in tears after the palace appeared to choose Catherine, Princess of Wales, over her. But what exactly did they choose? And why was it hidden from the public? Who do you think the palace really favours, Camilla or Catherine? Before we reveal exactly what the palace did, you need to understand why this story is far bigger than just a few jewels or a single royal favour. This isn't about gossip or flashy headlines, it's about influence, legacy, and the hidden rules that have governed the Windsor family for centuries. The palace operates in silence, and most of the world never sees the strings being pulled behind the scenes. But when a quiet choice is made in favour of Catherine, and seemingly against Camilla, it sends ripples that reach far beyond any royal event. Have you ever wondered what really happens behind the palace walls, the decisions they never want us to know? To understand why Catherine's rise inside the palace has caused such shockwaves, you first need to meet the person quietly orchestrating much of this unseen influence. Prince Edward, the Duke of Kent. At 90 years old, he is one of the most senior and trusted members of the Windsor family, a man whose every public move has been carefully measured, yet whose private influence is nearly unmatched in modern royal history. He is not just a figurehead, he is a guardian of centuries of legacy, a man whose decisions have quietly shaped the royal landscape for decades. The Duke has served the crown for over 6 decades without a single scandal. He is a Field Marshal, the highest rank in the British Army, and has been Grand Master of the Freemasons since 1967, nearly 60 years of steady, silent authority. Few outside these inner circles realize the magnitude of his influence. When he steps into a room, the weight of history seems to follow. Even more striking is his connection to history. He is the last surviving first cousin of Queen Elizabeth II and a direct link to the royal families of Europe. His family has seen revolutions, wars, and political upheaval, yet his presence has always been a stabilizing force. His decisions carry not just authority, but the moral and historical weight of generations. And now, after decades of quiet stewardship, the Duke has reportedly made a decision that could reshape the royal hierarchy. He has expressed a clear wish for Catherine to inherit the Kent family jewels, a collection that survived empires and revolutions, and is arguably one of the most significant private collections in the world. If someone with this much authority quietly chooses a favourite, should tradition or personal legacy carry more weight? The story of Catherine is not just about jewels or titles, it is a story of resilience that has quietly captured the hearts of the British public. Few know the private battles she has faced, and even fewer could have predicted how those struggles would position her as a central figure in the monarchy's future. Catherine, Duchess of Kent, lived decades in quiet service, often unknown to those she helped. She volunteered at schools, trained as a Samaritan, and co-founded initiatives to support talented children from underprivileged families. Yet behind these noble acts lay deep personal tragedy. In 1977, she suffered the heartbreak of a stillborn child, an experience she endured in private decades before mental health in the royal family was ever discussed publicly. Her courage extended even further when she converted to Catholicism, a choice that shook centuries of tradition and drew private criticism from some corners of the palace. Through it all, Catherine remained steadfast, quietly embodying grace, humility, and strength. In recent years, her battle with cancer became public, but even then, she faced the world with calm dignity, showing a resilience that spoke louder than any royal speech ever could. And it is this combination of courage, empathy, and quiet influence that reportedly led the Duke of Kent to make a decision that stunned palace insiders: a clear preference for Catherine to inherit the legendary Kent family jewels. These are not just ornaments, they are symbols of legacy, history, and responsibility, and Catherine's personal journey has proven her capable of carrying that weight. Do you think personal courage should ever outweigh tradition in royal decisions? To truly understand why the Kent family jewels are more than just treasures, we must travel back through centuries of European history. These jewels carry a lineage that survived revolutions, wars, and dynastic upheavals. The collection's origins trace to the Russian imperial family, specifically Grand Duchess Maria Pavlovna, whose private jewels represented the pinnacle of Romanov opulence. In 1917, as revolution engulfed Russia, these jewels narrowly escaped destruction, smuggled out of St. Petersburg by Maria's son and a British diplomat disguised as workmen. Every piece preserved a fragment of a world that was almost erased. Through marriage and inheritance, these jewels found their way into the Windsor family. Princess Marina of Greece and Denmark, a woman celebrated for her style and political savvy, brought the collection to Britain when she married into the royal family in 1934. Among the pieces were tiaras, diamond parures, and sapphires that had passed through multiple royal generations, each stone imbued with history, influence, and unspoken authority. Over decades, these items were not only symbols of wealth but of survival, memory, and continuity. The Duke of Kent, as the current steward of this collection, stands as the living bridge between these centuries. His personal decision to favour Catherine over Camilla is not simply a family preference, it is an acknowledgement of her ability to carry forward the weight of history, preserving its meaning for future generations. Every glance at the Cambridge Lover's Knot tiara or the Romanov diamond brooch tells a story of resilience, legacy, and loyalty to the crown that transcends mere ceremony. When history meets modern choices, should tradition or merit decide who inherits such powerful symbols? While the jewels themselves hold centuries of history, the drama unfolds in the present. Within the palace walls, a quiet battle is raging on that the public will only glimpse in carefully staged appearances and fleeting photographs. Camilla, as queen consort, holds undeniable authority in the hierarchy. Every move she makes, every tiara she wears, sends a signal. She commands the present. Yet, behind the scenes, Catherine is being built as the permanent future, a calculated symbol of continuity, grace, and resilience. This is not just a story of jewelry, it is a collision of timelines. The Duke of Kent's alleged wish to pass his collection to Catherine disrupts the expected order. While Camilla occupies the public role, Catherine represents the unseen weight of legacy, carrying forward the lineage of 4 generations of extraordinary women. Palace insiders whisper of tension, of private meetings, of subtle maneuvering to honour a, perhaps quietly redirect the Duke's decision. The stakes are immense. Who wears these jewels is not a question of fashion but a declaration about the monarchy's future. Every glance at a tiara, every carefully placed brooch, every public event is now layered with unspoken meaning. The quiet conflict is as potent as any headline, and it exposes the delicate balance between duty, ambition, and family loyalty. If the monarchy is both tradition and a living institution, whose hands should truly carry its legacy, Camilla's present authority or Catherine's promise for the future? Every jewel, every tiara, every brooch in the royal collection tells a story far beyond mere ornamentation. They are silent symbols of power, legacy, and the enduring weight of history. When Catherine dons the Cambridge Lover's Knot tiara, it is not just a fashion choice, it is a statement. Designed for Queen Mary in 1913 and famously worn by Princess Diana, it represents continuity, resilience, and the crown's unbroken lineage. Each carefully placed diamond speaks to a centuries-old tradition of women shaping the monarchy from behind the scenes. Similarly, when Catherine appeared in Queen Victoria's Oriental circlet tiara, adorned with 600 diamonds and rubies, the symbolism was unmistakable. Reserved historically for reigning queens, this gesture marked her as the chosen custodian of the monarchy's future. Every glimmer reflected a calculated declaration. Catherine is not only part of the present, she embodies the legacy and vision for generations to come. The jewels are also silent witnesses to human emotion, grief, triumph, sacrifice. The empty seats at critical ceremonies, the discreet gestures of comfort, and the historically unprecedented moments, such as King Charles attending a Catholic Mass, amplify the weight of symbolism. Every choice made in public and private sends layered messages about power, succession, and loyalty. These objects are not passive, they are active participants in the monarchy's narrative. They convey authority, inspire admiration, and silently shape public perception. In a world where tradition meets modern scrutiny, symbolism becomes a tool as potent as any decree. Do you see these jewels as mere decoration, or do they truly reveal who the palace believes should shape the monarchy's future? The palace is not just a home, it is the stage on which the future of the British monarchy is being silently written. Every decision about jewels, titles, and appearances carries consequences that will ripple for decades. Catherine wearing historically significant tiaras is more than a moment of beauty, it is a signal that the institution is quietly aligning with her as the anchor of the monarchy's future. Every photograph, every standing ovation, and every public appearance is a calculated move in a centuries-old chess game. Meanwhile, Camilla's absence from certain key events, her visibility in the present but exclusion from symbolic gestures, underscores a subtle tension between the now and what is to come. The palace may function in public with civility, but behind closed doors, these choices are shaping the narrative of succession, loyalty, and legacy. If the wrong signals were sent, public confidence in the monarchy could erode further, especially among younger generations who already question its relevance. The stakes are enormous. This is not just about who wears which tiara or who inherits which jewels. It is about the monarchy's survival, its ability to resonate with a modern audience, and the subtle orchestration of influence that will define the crown for generations. Every decision, every symbolic gesture, has the potential to either strengthen the institution or leave it vulnerable to scrutiny, gossip, and dissent. Do you think the palace's silent strategy with Catherine will secure the monarchy's future, or could these choices spark conflicts that weaken it? After decades of careful planning, public appearances, and subtle symbolism, the palace reaches a point where the story is no longer about who holds the jewels, or even who sits closest to the king. It is about the invisible currents of power that determine the monarchy's trajectory. Catherine's poised composure, her moments of quiet defiance, and her public triumphs send a message louder than any official announcement. Yet, Camilla's influence, experience, and presence in the immediate royal landscape remain undeniable. In many ways, the palace itself has become a living paradox. While Catherine is being positioned as the future cornerstone, Camilla continues to wield authority over present-day decisions. Every ceremonial gesture, every crown loaned or tiara displayed, every public smile captured by the press is layered with meaning. The observers outside may see elegance, continuity, and tradition, but inside the walls, every movement is a calculated choice, a negotiation between legacy and modernity, between expectation and desire. This is the soft climax. There is no single winner. No throne can dictate certainty over the symbolic weight of history. No decree can resolve the emotional and institutional stakes entwined in the monarchy's future. The palace remains silent, the jewels remain in their cases, and the watchers public, historians, and royal insiders are left with more questions than answers. In a world where tradition and modernity collide, do you think the monarchy can survive these quiet battles, or is it inevitably heading toward change? As the palace quietly maneuvers through this delicate balance, one truth becomes clear. The story of the monarchy is never just about crowns or jewels, it is about the people who carry its legacy forward. Catherine's careful steps, Camilla's visible authority, and the silent power plays behind the scenes remind us that history is being written in moments both public and private. The future of the British royal family is a narrative still unfolding, and each decision, each gesture, each glance carries weight beyond what the eye can see. The public may never witness the full extent of these choices, yet the signs are everywhere, waiting to be noticed by those who watch closely. So we leave you with this question: in this quiet war of legacy, symbolism, and influence, who truly holds the crown in spirit, past, the present, or the future? If you want to stay part of this royal journey and uncover more hidden stories, make sure to like this video and subscribe to join us for every revelation that the palace doesn't want you to see.